This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now, where we bring you the 3 E's: educate, empower, and engage. I'm your host, Harvey Blankfeld, and we've been selling homes here in Southern Nevada since 1988. We're also very proud to be part of the Real Estate Radio Network. That is a national network of local real estate professionals delivering timely, balanced truths about local market conditions. And then we also have Darren Welsh, who's our general counsel with Berkshire Hathaway. And Darren, one of the things I want to talk to you about today was, at Brown Blankfeld Group, we do sales. That's predominantly what we do. But we also do some property management for some of our clients. And the whole idea of this legal marijuana and tenants has me concerned a little bit.
It's already starting. The changes are already starting. Yeah. Because prior, I thought possibly during the medical marijuana phase, we would see some subject matter come up about whether or not parties were smoking marijuana on their balcony, etc. But it has, because of the recent changes as of January 1st, even though there's not an avenue to buy legal recreational marijuana, technically, if you're in possession of a certain amount, you are not going to be prosecuted.
Okay.
And so what we're having already happen, I just had an email the other day where we rented out a unit. The upstairs unit smelled of marijuana so badly, the tenant happened to be in law enforcement.
Wow.
Yes. And so here we have.
What an interesting
So
twist.
As an employer, the question becomes, well, you can't drug test me for marijuana anymore. Not true. If you're working a forklift at the MGM, the employer is allowed to do certain things. The restrictions are still there for the employer to drug test you. So the gentleman who was living in the unit, actually, I don't know if it was a man or a woman.
Okay.
The tenant was concerned about failing a drug test.
Sure.
And they contacted the landlord, which would be, you in your property management.
Right.
And that lease had to be terminated. That's the kind of thing. As soon as it was passed, I knew the first thing is people were concerned about employers and whether or not they can test. And it specifically states in the referendum that they can.
Right.
So you'll still see certain employers. Well, and think about it. If you're driving train, you're operating large machinery.
Right.
Truck, you can go through the list of the dangerous things people can do at work. Forklifts is an easy one.
Right.
They're allowed to drug test, and if you're positive, you're going to be terminated. But there's a lot of people who are living in their homes. They want to be able to do what they can legally, and they may. And like you said earlier, some of us live very close in proximity to each other.
Yeah.
So even if you have your own single-family residence, some developments are designed with the patio backyards.
Yeah, they've got all kinds of things.
And some people love that. But you can literally see, you could almost reach over and touch your neighbor. So if that person is engaging in what is now legal, these issues are going to play themselves out throughout the rest of the year.
How do you, as an attorney, because my husband's an attorney and everything's based on precedent. So how do you go forward and it's new stuff, and how do you just figure it out with the judge and he makes the call? And
what will happen is somebody will file a case, and it'll go to district court. There'll be a ruling. Someone will appeal that. It'll go to now we have an appellate court, so it'll go to the appellate court.
Right.
And ultimately, the only way you get a final ruling is somebody has to take the time, effort, etc., and get all the way up into the appellate level, and then ultimate to the Nevada Supreme Court. And that could take
years.
You file a case today, you will not have probably a ruling from the Supreme Court
But the
until
legislature
2020.
could also address it too. They could write a law that addresses this before any of these cases end up getting resolved. The legislature could address this too.
They could. And also the legislature could appoint a committee to write what's called code. And I think the upside is that if you look at the statistics of home sales in Colorado, they definitely increased in volume. I don't know.
No question. And
there's obviously downsides to it also that you saw in the campaign last fall. But what is known is people did move to Colorado. And whether or not it was directly related to the legalization of recreational, we don't know. But they did have an increase in population, and they sold more houses. And I predict that will happen here.
You've been listening to Las Vegas Real Estate Now with host Harvey Blankfeld. Please tune in every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.